Hi, everybody. Today's best-selling free sci-fi and fantasy ebook is a romantic fantasy set in a magical library. But before we get to that, I've got 4 other free best-selling sci-fi and fantasy books to talk to you about. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the MetaStellar YouTube channel. My name is Maria KOROLOV. I'm the editor here at MetaStellar. And every week, every single Friday, our team reads the first few chapters of the books on top of Amazon's free sci-fi and fantasy list. So you can get some free books to get you through this holiday weekend. Today, I was helped out by book editor Krista Noland. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it here today, so it's just me. The link to the articles and to all the books is in the description box below. For those who are new, MetaStellar is an online magazine of speculative fiction. All the content is always free to our readers. We publish original short fiction, lots and lots of original short fiction, reprints, excerpts, essays, and book reviews like these. We're able to do this and keep all our content completely free thanks to our Patreon supporters. And we have 2 books out, anthologies of our best short stories are up on Amazon, Year One and Year Two. If you want to be part of our next anthology, submit. There's no cost to submission. Okay, let's get into the books. Book number 5 on today's list is Between Ink and Shadows, the first of 3 books in the Between Ink and Shadows epic fantasy series. The other books are $4 each, and they're not in Kindle Unlimited. So Kindle Unlimited is where you pay $12 a month and you read all the books you want, kind of like a Netflix for books, as long as they're on Amazon and in Kindle Unlimited, which this isn't. So you would have had to pay full price for it, even if you were a Kindle Unlimited subscriber. And we've reviewed this book before, and it's about Nim, who was born to be a thief, and she's indebted to a magical organization that has her tied to society's dark underbelly, but she wants to get free. Her father used to be high up in court society, close to the king, but got tangled up in a dark bargain that cost him his station and his freedom. But at least he didn't get hung, even if his daughter did end up with all his debt, which seems kind of unfair. And in this world, magic is illegal, which means that it's the criminals who use it, which kind of a weird dynamic. Nim herself is only human, but the criminal who holds her debt is one of the most powerful magic users around. And the interest in the debt means that she'll never get free. And he wants her to steal something from one of the king's high-level officials, and it's an impossible job. This official is second in line to the king and is the one responsible for hanging those people who are associated with magic. He's the head of law and order in the country, but if she fails, she'll lose what little freedom that she does have. I like Nim. I love the story. There's a lot of excitement. It's fast-paced, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it and find out how she works her way out of it. And I have read quite a bit further into this book as well. It's a lot of fun. Next, we have book number 4 on today's list, Bound by Knighthood by Nicki Chapelway, one of 11 books in the Starry Kingdoms of the Fae romantic fantasy series. Each of the books is its own story and can be read independently, and each one's written by a different author. They're usually $3 each, but several of them are free today, and most are in Kindle Unlimited. And in September, we reviewed a couple of other books from the same series. So fun books, light, short, on the short side, romantic fantasy. If you like romantic fantasy, these are extremely readable books. And romantasy is super hot right now, and people love, love, love romantic fantasy. But not me, because I have a cold, cold heart, and I hate romance, and I hate love. And this particular book is a rivals to lovers romance, and I prefer books where the rival gets killed in horrible ways early on, and the protagonist keeps killing people throughout. I love murder and mayhem in my books. So not so much the mushy stuff, although outside of books, I do like watching rom-coms. So yeah, I'm a barrel of contradictions. Anyway, this book opens with a map of the fantasy kingdom, which I love. I love maps. So that's a plus. But right in the middle of the map, there's an academy. And I hate magical academies and magic schools in general. So, because I'm all Harry Pottered out. So that set off alarm bells. So I had a bit of an emotional roller coaster before I even got started reading this book. Okay, so the book is about Willow, and she's an orphan, and she had to fight hard for everything that she got in her life, and she's about to go off to this magical academy. And in the village, her chief enemy, rival guy she's really bitter about is named Byron, and he's handsome and magically powerful and the most powerful boy in the village, and he smirks a lot, and everybody loves him except for her. She hates his guts, but doesn't really seem to have a reason to hate him. She just hates him because he's beautiful, right? And everything that he has was just handed to him, and he's rich and he's got all the luck and everything. And she's a little salty about this. She wants to go into this academy and get a knighthood, and she thinks this guy is going to get it instead of her. So Willow's best friend is also going to this academy, but she's not as upset about that. So the three of them are off walking from their village to this academy, which is going to take the whole day. And she has to spend the whole day with Byron and his stupid smirk. And her best friend is like, what's wrong with you, right? So on the one hand, perfectly lovely beginning for a book, very easy read, well written. Willow's character is fun, a little whiny, and her best friend is very supportive. And I think that 99% of people are going to love this book, and you should go out and get it, and you're going to enjoy it. But not me, because I hate love and happiness. So I'm not going to be sticking with it unless I run out of things to read, which isn't going to happen anytime in the near future. My to-be-read list is like hundreds of books long. All right, moving on. Book number 3 on today's list is Bound by Blood by Jessica Butler. Also part of this same series. And Kristen Noland read this for us. And she says that this is about Erin, who's a soup maker, who finds a frightened dog-like creature outside her home. Now, she shouldn't be going outside her home. There's terrifying things out there: wolves, owls, griffins, and fae. And as she's picking up this creature, a blood fae shows up. Apparently, the fae accidentally created this creature, and it holds his magical powers, and the fae wants his powers back. But Erin refuses to give the dog up. She says she already loves it. And so they make a bargain. She can keep the animal and feed him until the fae's magic is restored by food or time. So Kristen says that she didn't particularly get excited by either Erin or the fae. She didn't really get a good sense of the character. And it's really not clear what Erin wants other than this dog. Why does she want this dog? Who knows? Why isn't she giving the dog back to its owner? Unclear. But the writing is fine. So her big problem is with the concept rather than the execution, and the fact that it's a very slow start. Not much happens in the first couple of chapters. And I have to say the same thing. The previous one is also kind of slow starting. And it's billed as a cozy fantasy. So I do have to say that this is a very, very cozy series. So Kristen says that if you like novels about fae with magic and fantasy creatures, a slow burn romance, you might enjoy the book, but she won't be sticking with it. Next, we have book number 2 on today's list, Bound by Stardust by Angela Ford. Also part of the same series. And again, Kristen read this for us. And it's about Azira, a healer, who's gathered a stardust that floats from a floating island, a fake kingdom, on All Hallows Eve. And she's been doing it for 10 years without incident. But this year, hidden beneath her feet, there's a wounded fae. She takes him back to her village to heal him, and maybe he can give her a favor. So he's a Fey Master, and he's been stabbed and buried alive. And he's grateful for Azira's help, and he's willing to grant her her wish, but there's a catch. She has to help him get his revenge on those who did this to him. And Kristen says she's really enjoyed the book, and it's well written, and it's dual perspective. So it switches back and forth between the main characters, and the descriptions are rich, and the characters are interesting. She really likes Asira. She likes the fact that she's willing to put herself in danger to help others, and she's brave and spunky. And the Fae is handsome and sexy and a trickster. And he finds Azira's lack of interest in him intriguing. And maybe he did something to get the other Fae mad at him. So Kristen thinks maybe he's some kind of a rebel. And she says she's going to stick with this book and find out the secrets of these characters and how the partnership develops. And she doesn't know if they're going to become more than partners, but I'm going to say yes, Kristen. They're going to become more than partners. But she's interested in them and their stories. And if you're interested in a strong female lead and magic and fae and dark secrets, you might enjoy this book. And before we go on to the #1 book on today's list, I want to thank all our Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. The reason we're able to publish all this free fiction by new and emerging authors is because of you guys. And Patreon memberships start just, you can pay as little as $1 a month. Everything you can contribute helps. And it's just a great way to support a new magazine. We're all run by volunteers. None of the money goes to us. It all goes to the authors. So please support our magazine. Please support our authors. Super grateful for those who are already doing it. You guys are awesome. You are the best. Which brings us to book #1, the best book on today's list, Bound by Honey by Jamie Dalton. Also part of this romantic fantasy series. And I read this again. This time the protagonist is named Sage, and she's been working at a royal library of this kingdom for the past 2 months, and it's a magical library, and the books can fly, and there's a gargoyle in charge of the restricted books section. And when the book starts, a visiting Fae guy is trying to steal a book about carnivorous plants. And she might lose her job if he gets away with this book. So she chases him down through a crowd. She has to crawl past people crowding around. And she finally catches up to him, and he refuses to give the book back. And he and his 3 friends leave the library smirking and all superior and stuff. And there's nothing she can do. And then she finds out that the 4 of them are super famous, super popular, super powerful mages. And the one who took her book is particularly handsome and annoying. So I'm thinking, handsome and annoying. I know where this book goes, but I might be wrong. So I hate the guy already. The library rules are there for a reason, dude. Do not violate library rules. So yeah, I'm a little bitter. So then she goes home, and her parents tell her that they're moving. So her dad got a great new job in another town, and they're going to leave the city and move there, and she's going to have to find her own place to live. So, and all she has is her salary as a beginning librarian, so it's not exactly going to go far in the city. And she looks at 20 different places, and all of them are horrible. And finally, she finds a place that is free room and board in return for some part-time work. But it's owned by the annoying book thief. So I know where this is going. She's going to take the job, and she and the book thief are going to bond. No, I was wrong. She turns down the job. She goes back to the library, and she decides to camp out in a closet there overnight until she finds a permanent place to stay that she can afford. Good for you. Don't tie yourself up with an annoying, handsome guy. It never works out. So the first night she's there, she's in her closet, and then a handsome man opens the door and finds her. And it turns out that this handsome man is actually the gargoyle that she's friends with, the one who protects the restricted books. He changes shape at night because he's under a curse. And he lets her stay there, and he takes her to a secret magical room where she can spend the night, and she can stay there for like, a few weeks, a couple of weeks, until she finds a permanent place to live. And so she decides she's going to help him reverse his curse. Now, he's been under the curse for hundreds of years, and he hasn't figured it out yet. And other mages in the kingdom have also been aware of this curse and haven't been able to figure anything out. But she's good at research, so who knows? Maybe she'll come up with something. So very unexpected twist there. Is she going to end up with a gargoyle or with a handsome, but annoying mage who steals books? I'm rooting for the gargoyle. This is a very cute story and very readable. Sage is a very likable character. The word romance is right there in a subtitle, so I'm probably not going to stick with this one. Maybe she killed a few people in the first chapter, but she didn't kill anybody. It's a very cozy, nice, charming, murder-free book. So if you want to start your new year on a high note, full of love and happiness, there you go. Great book, free book. Pick it up while it's free. Books do not stay free for long. Publishers and authors make them free for like a day or a couple of days so that people will be inclined to buy the rest of the books in the series as a promotional thing. So they go out of free very, very quickly. Grab it while it's available. And if you like it, plenty of other books in the series. And you can also check out the author's other books on Amazon. All right. So thank you, everybody, very much for sticking with me. And thank you for your kind support of MetaStellar. If you don't want to miss any of these book review, free Friday book reviews, you can subscribe to our channel, hit the bell, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter and get the book reviews delivered right to your inbox at 5 p.m. Eastern Time every single Friday. And if you're an author, our next submission cycle is in March, but we're always accepting reprints and excerpts. Whew. All right. This has been a weird year. Interesting year, but weird. I'm looking forward to seeing what 2024 brings, and I wish you all the best. Happy New Year, and enjoy some free books. Bye, everybody. I forgot where the stop button is. All right, now, bye, everybody.